nature will mess you up. They could do something. It could turn. It could stall. You don't know what's going to happen. So, but there we are. We're at a level 1 in the Swamp Ass. So, what do you think we might get to today? Do you think we're going to get to that 3 or 4, or are we going to hover around here?
What did we say? Level 5 on the Swamp Ass meter is over 105.
Yeah, you get 105. It's gross outside.
Yeah, you're off the charts then.
Oh.
So we're at 100 right now, boys. It's just now 2 o'clock.
I feel like it could get a little ugly out there. Be prepared.
Sure, I'm glad we're here in this AC.
This is beautiful. I walked home yesterday, by the way. I ran in between the drops.
Yeah, and you were dry as a bone.
I was so fast. It was like I was a DeLorean. That's how fast I was. Went back in time. 5,000 gigawatts. It's a weird movie, isn't it? I love that movie, but it's an odd movie. It's like, so let me get this right. Your best friend is a scientist that people don't allow to teach science because he's nuts and has a nuclear reactor, and he's going to sell it to the Syrians or whatever? Yeah, okay, you need to stay home.
I have an off-the-subject question.
Do it.
Are you going for full handlebar mustache?
I'm thinking about it.
Yes, sir.
I think you could pull that off pretty easily.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, do it, dude.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely. Man, get the Lemmy Kill Mr. Chops.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do the whole thing. We're going to look good. That's the whole point, kids. We do hot takes.
You should do that too, man.
We do hot takes and we do hot looks.
Because you've got 3 really hot dudes on the air.
That's it.
What you see now is about all I can grow.
Just drink more coffee. Start smoking cigarettes.
That's right, man. Do some crack. That's always good for everybody.
What, you don't know me. I might do crack already.
Well, there you go then.
Lamb chops.
Only a couple days a week. He's cutting back. He's on a diet.
Lamb chops. That's
Lamb
what they
chops.
call him. Lemmy, man, he had the best.
Lemmy did, along with that thing that was, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that big old, that's a big old mole.
It was something. It was like it was another part of the band. Aw, jeez, Chad. Trump's going out there on Friday to Texas. I saw people say, why isn't he out there now? There's a reason you're not out there now. You know why? Because he's a giant distraction. When the president goes anywhere in the world, he's a massive distraction that they don't need while they're trying to recover bodies and do stuff.
They're trying to save lives, and the footprint that he would make just showing up would get in the way of everything.
Yeah. That's what would happen, kids. I hate to break the news to you.
Yeah, well, it's like this colonel with the Texas game wardens just said they have searched, as of today, since July 4th when the flood hit, they've searched 26 miles. Yesterday it was announced they've got 62 miles to search.
Yeah.
So it's a long, tedious process.
Do we know how many people are still missing? Because I've seen so many. Here's the thing. Because people were on vacation, so some people's houses may be washed away. They may not have been there. Other people, they thought they were in places that they weren't, and other people, maybe they were home, and maybe there was more. They don't know. Do we have anything kind of nailed down of how many people are still missing?
Kerr County, where most of the deaths have been, they suggest they're still missing 18.
Okay.
And then, so Camp Mystic, that's in Kerr County.
Yeah. And I think everybody's accounted for, right?
From what I understand.
Okay.
So let's see. Today's the 8th. So yesterday, there were still 10 girls missing from Camp Mystic.
So
the other 8 may just be other individuals whose relatives have said, hey, we haven't heard from them.
So this is what one Texas official just said. 5 campers and 1 counselor have still not been found.
Okay.
So I mean, that's that would, right now, 27 campers and counselors have died. So that would take the total up to 33 if they, and this, I mean, at this point in time, it's cadaver dogs. You're holding out because it's such a massive thing. But at this point in time, unless you're pinned somewhere, you could have gotten up because everything's receded enough and you could have walked somewhere. and they've got drones out there. So this is a recovery.
Yeah.
That's what this has become. And what'd you say? Like, people are hearing cell phones ring underneath debris?
Yeah, this morning I was watching NBC's coverage of it, and one of the first responders said, the really difficult thing for them is, they're going by these huge piles of debris. And what we're talking about are entire trees. Wrapped, cars wrapped around trees, cars and buildings in the trees. And in some of them, they're hearing cell phones.
Oh, that's just, it's devastating. And this is from Matt Gutman, who's out there at ABC. And Matt's a good dude. He's out there reporting on it.
Who works for the city of Ingram is still haunted by the cries of his neighbors.
To me, it's a graveyard. It's sacred ground. And there's people that are probably still right there and that may never come back. They're under gravel, they're under trees. And it's real hard not to feel bad because I know some of these people.
The Guadalupe River shattering a near century-old record, cresting at over 37 feet.
37 feet. What was it, 100 billion gallons just on July 4th?
Yeah.
That's unfathomable. Think about how big your pool is.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, my pool's, first of all, it's above ground. I'm like, so you're living well. But if we can't even fathom that. 100 billion gallons or whatever it was over the space of just several hours in a very small area that is not equipped to handle 100 million gallons, let alone 100 bazillion gallons. And it's tough. It is, in any way you could help. And there's so many people out there that have made it political. And it's Trump's fault because he fired somebody that's going to be fired in the future. Somebody took a buyout. You had 5 people. Somebody said earlier, because we were talking about the horns, and I said, the horns helped the neighboring city of Comfort. Obviously, there was none here. And people are like, well, who's going to get up if the horns go off at 2 a.m. because of a rainstorm? Well, if you don't, that's on you. But you need to exhaust everything you can. And if you live next to a river that has been prone in major situations to flood, you're probably going to get up if you hear that going off. Because if you don't do that, what's the old saying? You can lead a horse to water. You can't make it drink. If you're given every opportunity and you don't take it, that's a you thing. What's that old joke about, a flood comes and, they come up to the lady and said, lady, if flood's coming, you got to get in the truck. And she says, no, God's going to help me. And then the guys come by in a boat, right? And they said, hey, lady, this thing's going to continue to go. And she's like, no, God's going to help me. And then she's on top of the roof and a helicopter comes, get on top of this. Come on, get in here. Nope, God's going to help me. And then she dies and she goes to heaven and says, well, why didn't you save me? He goes, I sent you a truck, I sent you a boat, and I sent you a helicopter.
You ignored all 3.
All 3. It's the same thing. You've got to give people the opportunities. I mean, it's like saying the same thing. It's like, well, are you really going to get up if you hear the siren of the tornadoes? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying people aren't going to look. That's part of it. But if you don't heed those warnings, if they come, and that's a big if, because that's one of the things some people have complained about. They didn't receive any messages. They came sporadically, and part of that is because they're in areas where they don't have great cell phone coverage.
Yeah, and some of the cell phones were turned off because that's, I guess, part of the protocol at some of these camps.
Yeah.
No electronics.
So, but somebody should have had it. But even at that point in time, if you're not getting, even if, let's say you've turned it all the way down, and so you don't hear it, it doesn't blast, you may be getting the alert, but if you're not hearing it, it means nothing.
It means nothing.
And that's why the siren would be a big deal. And it was to the neighboring camp. So the beauty of our country is we fix issues like this. The bad part of what humans are all about is we're reactionary more than forward thinking. So, you go to your doctor and he tells you better figure out how to eat better. You're going to die in 6 months. You're going to change the way that you're probably going to eat, but you knew you should have been eating better all along. But you were almost waiting for somebody to say you should eat better. Absolutely. Cool Whip. I know Cool Whip and Miracle Whip are different. This has been our take throughout the day. We've been battling about that. We don't like Cool Whip and Miracle Whip. I don't. I know they're different. You guys don't have to explain it to me. But we got onto the subject of the whips. Not comparing them as the same. We know they're different.